Hi guys, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be filming a Q&A for you guys. For the first time ever, I decided to post about my Q&A under the community tab on YouTube. I usually always just post like an Instagram story and I just go off the questions there. However, I know not all of you guys have access to Instagram, and Instagram's been a little bit funky for me recently anyway, so I'm like, why not try something new? So I posted there and a lot of you guys asked questions, so I'm really excited to dive into those and answer them to the best of my abilities. Let's jump in. Ooh, wow. Okay, we're just jumping right in. The first question comes from Lily, and she said, do you still talk to Riley despite what happened with him? So if you guys don't know, there's a whole story as to what happened between Riley and I, and sometimes I almost like regret being as transparent as I was because it was just like a lot to share, but I also feel like people were gonna ask questions and I was not in a place where I felt prepared to like make up a lie. Truthfully, no, we have not spoken. We haven't spoken. More happened after that video, or even probably during that video, that I just chose not to mention because it was just like very, very personal. So we have not spoken, but it's not like either of us hate each other. I think it's more so like there was a lot of stuff going on under wraps for him that I think he needed to like work through on his own and like with his family, and like I needed to like process and clean up what happened here, because it wasn't just my car being stolen. It was like filing restraining orders, making sure this guy was in jail, pressing charges, like it was a whole thing. So no, we haven't spoken, but I'll speak to him again sometime. We have an open line of communication. It's not like we have each other blocked or we hate each other. I think we both just really needed time after that happened. So yeah, that's as far as I'll go with answering that. Somebody said, does the loss of your mom ever get better? I'm 6 months in. She passed from cancer right before COVID exploded. I'm missing my mamita linda so much. Yeah, wow. Yes. It does get better. It will never be a wound that just heals itself. There's always gonna be that pain there, and you are always gonna miss her. Always, always, always gonna miss her. And there's gonna come a time where you're just like, wow, what was I even doing 6 months into her passing away? Like a few years from now, you won't even remember, because I get that right now you're very much so on like autopilot, because 6 months is not a long time to grieve and go through the trauma of losing a parent, especially from an illness. But just know that she is with you. She is with you all the time, and she is living through you. That is something that has brought me peace. It sometimes hurts me more, but it does bring me peace. And so just try to think about that more than anything. And you know, when you do things, think about doing them in her honor and just trying to make her proud. And I think with time, you're gonna gain a new perspective. You truly do go through the different portions of grieving. You know, there's like, I think they say there's like 9 stages to grievance, and there truly is. And there is gonna come a time where it's sort of enlightenment, and like you're able to view their death and process their death in a different way than you ever could have prior to. And I will just pray that you get there sooner than later. But I am sorry for your loss, and there's nothing that anyone can say to make it right. Just know that you're not alone. Like mentally, she's with you, but also you're not alone. You can always know that other people have been through what you've been through, so you don't have to feel like you're the only one carrying this pain on your shoulders. So I'm praying for you, and I will keep you in my thoughts. Oh my god, there's so many good questions in here, honestly. Leticia said, I remember you working with Omar on a fitness business, Built Fierce. How is that coming along? Long story short, Built Fierce is doing fine. When it first launched, it was like insane. Like we got over 1,000 members. I think we got up to like 1,400 members, something like that. And I was shocked because I never in a million years thought that we would get that kind of growth. But obviously COVID happened, and a lot of our customers either lost their jobs or gym shut down and they weren't getting access to gyms. So we did launch an at-home program. All of our members got it for free, and then anyone who just wanted to buy it could also get it. But the truth is, like, Built Fierce was meant to be a gym membership program. I will stand by at-home programs, and I genuinely believe the at-home program that Omar designed is brilliant, and we still have girls following it, and I'm still following it because I haven't set foot into a gym since COVID happened. But Built Fierce took a big hit when COVID hit. So we went from, you know, over 1,000 members. Now we're probably at between 200 to 300, which is okay. I mean, it could have just completely dissolved. And right now we're still kind of trying to figure out what direction we want to take with Built Fierce, because it really doesn't seem like COVID's clearing up anytime soon. So I'm really proud of what we built, and I do think it's a fantastic program. And if you guys are interested, I will have it linked in the description box. But overall, yeah, like it's going, and we've had girls that have made made tremendous progress and we're so proud of them. And we still do our weekly sessions, and now I do Zoom workouts with a few of the girls, and it's very intimate, very personal, and I love it. It's still my baby. I'm so proud of it. But Built Fierce was meant for the gym, in the gym, so naturally we took a bit of a hit when all of that happened, but still so proud of it, because Built Fierce, man, I don't feel like there's anything like it, and I'm just still so proud. I'm just kind of going based off of like the most ones that people thumbs up, because I feel like that meant a lot of people were interested in those questions. Desiree said, I'm a longtime subscriber of yours. I remember you being at 22,000 subs. Wow, I even remember that. And your channel was built around fitness, and I was just wondering how your lifestyle and mindset on fitness has changed since then. If fitness on YouTube kept trending like it was back then, because it was truly a different thing back then, and kept gaining traction, do you think your channel would have stayed around mainly fitness today? I always wanted to know your opinion on that. I love you so much. Ooh, thank you so much. This made me so happy, and I think that's a great question. And first, let me say thank you for writing it out with me, because I know I have been through some crazy ups and downs on this channel since then, and like had no direction. I've had so much direction, have like switched gears. Like, thank you for writing it out with me. So even if like fitness stayed the way that it was, I don't think I would have stayed in it as hard as I was, just because like, one, in general, things always change and adapt, and there was no way that that niche was gonna stay like as that type of content and that popular for as long as it did. But I also just have so many things that I love to talk about outside of fitness, and the truth is like fitness takes up about 20 to 30% of my life. I am passionate about fashion, I'm passionate about video games, I'm passionate about comic books, I'm passionate about traveling, like I'm passionate about so much. And so it was a huge reason, in fact, like even with Gymshark, when they let me go, they were just like, you are just not fitness anymore. Like, you talk about fitness, but you also are all these other things, and right now we need fitness. And I was like, noted. Yeah, this probably won't work then, because if you guys just want me to post videos squatting all the time, like, I get that. I do respect that that's like the niche that you want to be in, but that's not me anymore. Like, I want to talk about other things, and I don't want to get burnt out, because that's what happens to so many people, is they just dig something into the grave and then they're just like, oh my god, I'm so desperate for something else. So no, I don't think I would have stayed in it. I think I still would have explored, and I'm so grateful that I did. I love fitness. I think it's wonderful. I think, you know, working on your health is so important, but I just have so many other things I want to talk about, and I'm so much happier taking this approach. Even if it means that like my videos don't reach as many people, or like I don't get as many views, I'm happy with the content that I produce, and to me that's all that matters. and the fact that you guys are enjoying it too is all that matters. Vanessa said, how do you like being in a long distance relationship, and will he ever move to LA? This is gonna sound terrible, but I love long distance. Obviously, like, I've been in a long distance relationship before. This is now my second one, and they work really well for me, because much like anyone else, when you're in a relationship, you just wanna be with that person all the time, and it's very easy to kind of lose time, because you get so excited about just seeing them, like once they get off work, or, you know, having them spend the night, and you can like lose yourself in a relationship. So I like the distance because he's working all day. It allows me to just focus on my things throughout the day and work, and then at the end of the day we can FaceTime for a few hours, but it's not like he has to wake up, there's a time difference, he's got to wake up on the East Coast time zone so that he can go to work. So it's like, it's nice to have that time apart for us to like really just focus on ourselves. But obviously if our relationship keeps progressing, he will absolutely move to LA. We were gonna jump the gun on that like in August, like this month, but I just felt like I was like, okay, let's like chill. It hasn't even been a year. It's a little bit too soon for you to like pack your things and move all the way to California. But yeah, that's absolutely the goal. Like, if our relationship keeps growing and like stays prosperous, absolutely. Like, I could 1000% picture us living together. When he stayed with me for a month during quarantine, it was difficult at times. We argue. Don't think that we're just like always cute and happy. We are a regular couple and we argue. You guys just see the good moments, but God, he's just like a saint in the house. In the morning, if the buzzer goes off for packages, immediately gets out of bed, grabs the packages for me, helps me by taking the dogs out in the morning, like just little things that make my morning routine so much better. He helps me make the bed every morning. Oh, he's just wonderful, wonderful. Never have had that before, so it's really, really nice to just have someone with like basic manners, and I really appreciate that about him. And he's just like so helpful and sweet, and I love having him around. So yeah, it's great. I love it. I miss him all the time, but but that makes it so much more special when we finally do get to see each other. Shanae said, what is your happiest memory if you could only choose one moment? I already know what this is. Before my mom passed away, her and I took a trip to a town called Jenner, which if you're from the East Bay or like from Northern California, you might know what it is. You might know like Guerneville. And it's just like this tiny town right next, like on the Russian River, where the Russian River meets the ocean. It's this tiny town where my mom's best friend was living. Her name's Kath, and we got a cottage from one of her friends. We stayed there, and she was already sick at this time. We were there for probably 7 days. There was no cell phone reception. It was just her and I in this cottage, watching movies, doing little fun things around the town, and being together. And I remember just crying and asking her if we could just stop time and stay there forever, because I knew that once we went back, it was back to chemotherapy and it was back to her health getting worse and just back to reality. And it felt like when we were there, we were very much so separated from the rest of the world and separated from just reality. So if I died and like they were like, well, when you die, you just relive the happiest moment of your life, I would be ecstatic to get to have that on repeat forever, because always talking about it gets me in my feels, but that, yeah, it would be perfect. Holly said, are you still deciding to move out of LA? If so, where? This question! I go back and forth all the time, and that's something I need to stop doing. I just like say things to you guys and then you guys hold me on it. Like school, for example. Oh, that's a whole other thing that I feel like I'm not even ready to talk about, because I feel like everyone's just gonna scream at me, and that's what happens when you're in the public eye and you share your life. But regarding moving, yes, question mark, question mark, question mark. Like if I move, it'll be Portland or Denver. Still considering Austin, but Austin is hot. It's been 95 here, and I take the dogs out in the morning to go potty, and I'm pissed when I get back inside because I am sweating. I don't like it. So I don't know. Right now I'm leaning towards those two states, but then I heard stuff is getting weird in Portland. So honestly, like, I don't know. Right now I have it really good at my condo. All that's missing is a yard for my dogs. They deserve a yard. I'm working to get them the yard they deserve. But I love my condo, especially after the kitchen remodel and like all the changes that I'm slowly making. I love my home so much, and I'm not necessarily ready to leave it, especially with everything happening in the world, but I still do want to leave eventually. Like, I don't want to stay here forever. I just don't know when. I feel like everything is so just like up in the air right now, but I will say, like, I still do want to leave. Yes, I do. I want a cheaper house. Tasha said, are you still pursuing acting, or have you decided it wasn't for you? I am no longer pursuing acting, not because I decided it wasn't for me. I had something happen that was unfortunate, and I have to be so careful with how I say it because it could actually turn into something it really doesn't need to turn into. But I'm not with my agency anymore, and I didn't really have any motivation or drive to get with any other agencies after leaving that agency. So I still love it. God, I think about it every day, and I still like practice monologues at home and stuff by myself every once in a while, but I just feel like, you know, I've got so much other stuff going on, and after that experience that I had, I just feel a little bit thrown off, but I still love acting with all my heart. I just feel like I'm not getting any younger. I'm 26 now, and I feel like all these little 19-year-olds are coming in and just landing these auditions, and I'm 26, and yeah, I don't know. Maybe again, I'll try again in the future, but right now I feel pretty closed off to at least like television, you know, like maybe I'll do like theater. It's a rough industry. Anyone that is in this world knows that it is cutthroat. Anna said, I'm curious to know about your relationship with weed. My stance on it, and then she put in parentheses, as well as alcohol, sugar, etc., is that if you rely on it as a crutch / look forward to it / can't imagine your life without it because of how it makes you feel, then you're probably too dependent on it. Recently found your channel and enjoy your videos. Hi, so happy that you found my channel. I'm so glad you're enjoying the videos. Good question. I think originally I was not dependent on weed, and it was very much so just something to help me sleep at night, which I guess sounds like a dependent thing, but I could still sleep without it by taking like a NyQuil or something like that, but it really was started with the intention of that. But I could stop smoking weed tomorrow and I wouldn't like have a panic attack or be in a frenzy. I'd have a hard time sleeping. There's no denying that. I would have a hard time sleeping because it's like the one thing that gets my mind to just stop and just sleep. I don't know, I never really considered me being dependent on it, but I guess there's a chance maybe I am a little bit. I don't know. It's helped me so much to view myself in a different way and to handle situations differently from a much more calm and open perspective. I have a lot of friends who have said that they have been dependent on weed, and that's part of the reason that they stopped, so I completely get your perspective. Yeah, my relationship might have some dependency issues, but not like where I couldn't stop tomorrow. I just think that like if I have it around, I'm gonna smoke it at night night to help me go to bed. You know what I mean? I don't know. That's my viewpoint. I hope that helps. Hope that answers your question. Alicia James said, do you ever wonder where your life would be and how different it would be, good or bad, if you had chosen a traditional career path instead of social media, and do you think about it often? Yes, girl. I think about this a lot. So depends on what you define as traditional though, because I dropped out of college like 3 times. When I say college, like community college, I kept starting semesters and not finishing them. So with that, I went to beauty school, finished that, like was so dedicated to that program. I just really loved it. So I don't know if you consider like being a hairstylist a traditional career, but I don't think I would have been happy. I do not think I would have been happy because I was not passionate about hair. I was passionate about makeup, and I was stuck in this category of hair where all these people were so passionate to like find models on the street and do the best color that they could, and I just wasn't there. I just mentally was like, I don't want to do that. It just doesn't appeal to me. I wanted to be a makeup artist. I wanted to be working on photo shoots, but then that started to fade. Like I was so young. I was like 19, 18 when I finished beauty school. But yeah, I do think about it. Like I wonder, what if I did go to college, and what if I got my bachelor's degree in marketing or in business or veterinary? Like I have no, I couldn't even imagine what life would be like. Azalea said, how were you able to have your Poshmark business take off? I had my first sale in 2 days and it's died off since. Any advice would be awesome. Totally get that. I would say the biggest thing, like for anyone starting a Poshmark, it does not matter about your following. Like, do I have my sales get accelerated because I have a following? Absolutely. I have an audience already there that I can promote to and say like, hey, I have some new stuff listed on Poshmark. But my friend listed a bunch of her stuff on Poshmark, probably like 40 items, and her stuff was gone within a week. So I would say the number one thing is to have volume. So especially if you're reselling your old clothes, or you're gonna be reselling, you know, other things that you find, you're gonna need volume, because people need to have more options to shop through, because the goal is for them to go to your shop and bundle things and like find multiple things that they like and put it into a bundle and purchase multiple things. If that makes any sense, volume, 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 and then sharing other people's like stuff in closets is what I see people do a lot. You'll see like so-and-so shared your listing, and they do that because they want you to return the favor, and they're also probably trying to become a Poshmark ambassador. So that would be my biggest piece of advice, is volume. There's so many good questions. Okay, Letty said, what's 2 things you'd like to change from your past that quarantine has taught you to appreciate or value more, and will you change it after quarantine is over? It could be family, friends, health, life in general, etc. Love this. Yes. 1, I took it for granted, the gym. Like I really took for granted the fact that I had a place that I could just go to just sweat out whatever bullshit was on my mind and feel good and come home and just get back to normal. I don't like working out from home. Like, sorry, I shouldn't say I don't like it. I don't love it. Like, it gets the job done, but I loved having a place where that was all it was intended for. Now my office, which is where I game, film ASMR, pack orders, now it's also a little home gym too. And I miss having that. So I feel like as soon as I can get my butt back in a gym, it's over. It's game over. Like, I'm not gonna stop going. I really, really, really do miss the gym so much. I miss doing deadlifts. I just want to squat. Oh, I want to bench. Oh my God. That would be the first thing. The second thing would just be like gatherings with my friends. Like all the times that I've said no to hanging out with my friends because I just would rather be at home watching Netflix. God, I wish I said yes all those times, because now I don't hang out with anyone. And if I do, it's one person. And it's after like 3 weeks of being alone, and they're like, hey, I've been alone for a month too. Do you want to like hang out? I'm like, oh my God, please. You know, so I just miss like that. I miss being able to go into a restaurant and sit down and it not be like this weird, oh God. Yeah, there's so many things I miss, but those would be the 2 main things. Okay, Angelica asked quite a few questions here, but I'm gonna choose one of them. And she said, in what ways are you similar with your boyfriend, and what things are you total opposite? So this is kind of crazy. I haven't actually said this on social media, but Terrell and I, if you guys have heard of an app called CoStar, I'll pull it up. It's actually bizarre. Like our chart is exactly the same except for our communication, which not surprising. So this is our chart. This is what it looks like. It's very weird. Terrell was born a week after me. I was born July 23rd. His birthday is August 1st, both in 1994, but he was born at a different time in Ohio and I was born at a different time in San Francisco. And our charts are just exactly the same. And he's a Leo, but his rising and his moon are Taurus, which he's always like, yeah, I'm a Leo, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, dude, nothing about you is a Leo. I'm a Leo. I'm loud. I'm very abrasive. People say that they find me intimidating, which breaks my heart, but I also try to like be like, oh, good, you should be intimidated. So he's not like that. Terrell's a very chill, very laid back, like goes with the flow. We could be laying there and I'd be like, I wanna go to the beach today. And then I wanna go explore some thrift stores and go on a hike. And he'd be like, okay. Or I'd be like, I just wanna lay in bed all day and watch Netflix. And he'd be like, okay. Like, as long as you're happy, like, I'm chill with whatever. Super laid back, definitely super funny, but I would say it's just very, like, monotone, you know? Like, sometimes I'm like, are you okay? Are you sad? And he's like, yeah, why? I'm like, you sound sad. He's like, that's just how I talk. I'm like, damn, you're right. That's like how we're different. And he's kind of petty. I could be a little bit petty. Terrell is petty, and he's admitted it. That man is petty. But I'm pretty petty too. I don't know, we're very similar but very different. Our communication just sometimes is not exactly where it needs to be, but we're still very similar. Love that guy. Okay, this is gonna be my last question. Lacey Jenkins said, what do you want the size ranges for your boutique to be, or is it too early to ask this? So right now, this is like the most important thing to know. A lot of the people that have started boutiques, at least like influencers, have a management company backing it, or they have like investors, or they've saved up a lot, like $20,000 to $50,000 to put into something where they have no idea where it's gonna go, but they are able to create everything from scratch and really make it perfect. Whereas for me, I am going the more traditional route that a lot of influencers don't do, but a lot of just everyday people who want to get out of their 9 to 5 and have like a small chunk of change to start, this is what they do. They get their seller's permit, which I have, and then they usually make an account with a wholesaler, or they just go straight through the vendor, and you actually buy them in packs. And so with that, you find designs that you already love. And so you can ask about like the ethicality and different size ranges, and if you can create custom pieces, like there's opportunity for all of that, but typically they'll tell you straight away, like, okay, we only have extra small to large, or we only have small, medium, large, or this is a one size piece. So I'm kind of just taking that approach, and the plan is to start with these wholesale pieces. Hopefully it goes great. Hopefully I'm able to start like a little side boutique thing and keep that going and keep that running, and then eventually be able to do my own cut and sew pieces that I design, that I work with a designer on, and I'm able to have all different shapes and sizes, and I am the person actually going out and finding manufacturing companies. I do also want to note that like I'm taking it upon myself with all of the wholesale companies that I'm working with. I have called each of them directly to ask them about the ethicality and just how they take care of their workers, because I feel like that is something that is very important to talk about and ask when you are starting something like this. But yeah, it's coming. Everything is coming. I placed my order on inventory. I think most sizes are going to range from small to large, and some might have an XL, and the goal will obviously be to get as inclusive as I can in the future. It's just hard when you're ordering wholesale and you're limited, but that is the goal. And hopefully we'll be launching in September, doing it all out of my house. Very scared, very nervous, but very excited. My logo just actually got sent to me before I filmed this video, and I love it. It's beautiful. I'm so excited about that too. So yeah. Okay guys, that's everything. This has been such a long Q&A, but I really hope that you guys enjoyed it, and I hope that you guys got to get into my brain a little bit more, learn a little bit more. If you guys enjoyed this video, do me a favor, throw it a thumbs up, and if you're not already subscribed, do me a favor and subscribe to the channel as well. I will be uploading twice a week, ideally, next month, ideally. If not, once a week, which is better than nothing. All right, I love you guys so much, and I'll see you guys in my next video.